Greetings, everybody. Blessed morning. Divine uprising. Greetings, love. And of course, always, always, always blessings to you and those you love. First thing I want to say is that the good in you will bring good to you. Let that be a mantra for the rest of the week. The good in me brings good to me. The good in you brings good to you. And if you allow that good to push through the feelings of inadequacy, anger, frustration, impatience, self-doubt, if you allow that goodness to always be at the front of your spirit, it is going to bring good to you. It has been my experience. I'm sure it has been your experience. When you send off good vibrations, even if you don't get it back from the space that you gave it, it comes right back around to you. The reverse is also true. Don't give out the good vibes. You're gonna get back what you put out in terms of bad vibrations. So the good in me brings good to me. The good in you brings good to you, and we all have some good in us. No matter what you've done bad, no matter how bad you've been told you are, you still have good in you, and the good in you is gonna bring good to you. So I wanted to share a meditation with you today. It is best communicated using this real life example that I had. When I was in university, I was at the UWI, and we used to move from campus to wherever, half a tree, downtown, crossroads, wherever we're going. And you take the taxi from the Mona entrance. So that entrance, when you pass the UWI Hospital or University Hospital, that entrance to the UWI Mona campus, we call that the Mona entrance, or back gate. So we would take taxis from there and go wherever we want to go. Now, I remember, I think it was maybe 2015, 2014, the government had changed the requirement about how many passengers you could carry in a car. So one time, you carry any amount. If 5 can squeeze up run at the back, you squeeze up 5 run at the back. But most taxis were taking 4 people in the back. And the Ministry of Transport changed it to say legally your limit, because the car also come with a limit right on it, right? So you have 5 people the car carry. 3 run at the back, the driver and the passenger. So you can't have 5 run at the back alone. But anyways, we digress. Like, we believe that when Toyota made the car, they weren't sure, and we must show Toyota that we can hold 7 in the 5-seater vehicle. So the ministry changed the regulation to say that only 3 persons could travel in the back of a public passenger car. So, you know, of course, there was outbursts and backlash from the different taxi associations, because they're saying, you know, we can't raise the price. So we're carrying less people for the same money. So we're going to make less money on gas price and wear and tear and bills to pay and all kind of things. So, you know, they did their bit of advocacy. It didn't change the position of the government, though. 3 people around the back, 1 person on the front. And you know, sometimes them carry 2 on the front, squeeze up 1 on the gear stick, right? But we'll talk about that in another live, because there was a lesson there for me too. So, just to describe my experience now. So I walk out. This was maybe the first week of the new policy. So, you know, everybody I try forget where we'd still carrying 5 in the back, because if you never hear the thing on the news, you know say a 3 for carrying on the back. But me know say it's 3. So the taxi at the front of the line now is loading, and you know them tell you the thing, what already? Are you where with Papa? You where with Papa? Straight off with you, what already? I look in the car, I realize 1 person is on the front, 1 person's already on the back. Sorry, 2 persons are on the back. So I would make the 3rd person. So I say, all right, yeah, 1 already. I'm going to the car. I'm sitting now at the left side of the vehicle. So I'm behind the passenger. So I close my door, and I'm looking at the driver like, why is he still loading the taxi? And we are at 3. We have reached the capacitor. And I'm still alone. So I said, that driver ain't easy. He might try to break the law with me tonight. So I said, driver, you have the 3 and 3 for carrying at the back, and now make we leave. Off a tree, one more. I did not feel no man. I said, okay. A style thing. He might plan for squeeze me up around here with 4 people. Alright. I'm gonna go so. I'm gonna put on my seatbelt, run on the back seat. So, Me just feel the breeze when the door open, right? And then he's trying to present another person into the car. So I go, so, you know, clearly there is no seat for them to sit on. Miss, go over. My girl, when I go, take off the seatbelt. I said, driver, are you asking me to break the law? You're asking me to take my seatbelt off while I travel in your vehicle? And that is the law? No. Is a dark skinned man, I wouldn't tell you same face turn red. It's more of a bluish purple, right? The rage fly up into the man's face. Of course, the passenger is there like, one day I waste my time. Turn back, going on our next taxi. So the driver, like, remember saying doing maths, you know, how much times 4 in the back? Well, times 5 for the taxi, so I know how much you want me to the load here. Me just minus one of the fear them off a theme calculation and him not having it. Miss, take off the seatbelt. I said, driver, at this time of the year, it's like December time, right? I said, at this time of the year, accidents on the road are very high. People are very careless as they're driving. I can't leave my life in your hands and the hands of other motorists like that. I have to put on my seatbelt because now is the time of year when a bear crash I go on the road. I have to wear my seatbelt, driver. He tries with another passenger to put them on the other side of the car. If the person over there want to squeeze up, make them squeeze up. But I am in my seatbelt and me sitting right here. So if the person want to sit on the seatbelt or push it, for them business. But I am in my seat. The one of the 3 that the government say we must use. So I am in one of the 3. The man cussed me from Papine, go to halfway tree, in done me. Mind you, on his way to halfway tree, he drops off one passenger in out by Sovereign. So he's able to pick up another passenger. So him get back the additional fare. You know, so them not cut the fare in half if you take half a drive. At the full fare you have to pay from Mona go to Sovereign, from Mona go to halfway tree. So he make back the money for the extra passenger, you know. And before him get to halfway tree, him switch again, somebody from the back seat come out and him get another passenger before him reach into halfway tree. So he more than make back the 5 passengers that he probably calculated he would bring to halfway tree. But he never let the fact say, I put on the seatbelt in the car and prevent him from break the law, 1, but make the money. Because beyond the law, he's really looking at his dollars and cents. So when I got to halfway tree, you know, I say, yo, I can run some risk doing it because the man didn't really have the right for himself to come out to the taxi because it's his vehicle, right? It's not a government vehicle where I have to take the seat and nobody can discriminate and take me out of the seat. He could have told me to come out of his taxi, but I paid my fare and I came out. What I want you to pull from that, is not frustrate the taxi man, understand? But what I learned throughout life, since that experience, even now, when you are doing the right thing, you do it and you do it confidently. And for many of us, the right thing is simply showing up with confidence. You show up into a space, you know that your authentic self is only comfortable doing it this way, but the crowd, the audience, the people around you, the person with the power, the person in the driver's seat is going to be uncomfortable with you doing your authentic thing, standing in your personal and spiritual correctness. And instead of doing the thing that is right for you, instead of honoring the truth that you are aware of, you dishonor yourself by doing the thing that is easier for everybody else to accept. Giving up, in essence, your right so that others can be comfortable with you and so that others can accommodate you. You see, whether or not that taxi man took me to halfway tree, I was not going to give up my right for him to be comfortable. If he asked me to step out of his car, I would have done so. Would I feel away to the uncomfortable? Would I have to go look another taxi? Would I probably end up having to take a bus because maybe no taxi not going to want me in a them back seat. I put on the seatbelt. Or I would have to find a taxi that's freshly loading and I could sit on the front seat and be comfortable. And then if 4 and 5 want to go in the back, 4 and 5 go in the back. But I understood in that moment that I did not have an obligation to compromise what I knew to be the right thing simply because someone else or maybe everybody in the taxi wanted me to do the wrong thing, which was comfortable for most, but would have required me to be uncomfortable. It's not my car. Not every space I enter, I own. But when I show up into a space, you're getting the authentic, the true crystal vibration, and you can either deal with that, ask me to leave, or you leave. But what you will not get to do is force me to do that which I know to be incorrect. It could be unethical, it could be unkind, and it could simply just be uncrystal. Like there's no law against it, except that is not one of my principles. And I'm always comfortable and okay with foregoing a ride to halfway tree where everybody else comfortable and me uncomfortable, foregoing that ride and waiting for another taxi to hit the stand, because I live in a space of abundance. This is not the only drive that is available to me. This is not the only car that is available to me. And because I have my resources, me can always pay somebody else to move me around. And that resource could be time, right? Maybe I have more time left in me, more energy, more juice, more spunk, more passion, more talent. I have more. So you can't take it from me and put me in a position of lack, because I have more. I am tapped into the most abundant source, which is my creator, but I'm also potential. So don't think that you can deny me the opportunity to reach my destination. Fly high, fly low, or roll from the top of the hill to the bottom. I am going to arrive at the foot of my purpose. I'm going to arrive at my destination. How I get there is a completely different story, but I'm not going to compromise myself to fit into a vehicle in a way that is uncrystal. It is on me. It makes me feel uncomfortable. It asks me to violate principles. It asks me to be somebody I am not. Because slowly but surely, I'm going to get to halfway tree, but I'm going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to be nervous. I'm going to feel the weight of the compromise. And that is going to be on my spirit, even after I get to the destination. Even after I get to the destination and start moving on to doing the business, the weight of the compromise is going to weigh me down. So I don't know if you may have this specific issue dealing with right now, where you are in a vehicle, right? You're depending on this job, this relationship, this business, this conversation, whatever it is that you're located in right now, whichever space you find yourself, you are sitting in that space. And this has the capacity to move you somewhere. Maybe it's a promotion, maybe it's a raise of pay, maybe it's another opportunity, whatever it is. You see the value in this opportunity, but it is asking you to do so and left yourself careless. Because that's also part of what the driver was asking me to do. Make myself uncomfortable and put myself at risk just so I could travel in his vehicle. As though my life not important, my comfort, my safety not important. So beyond breaking the law, me must also put myself at risk so you can be comfortable. If that is how you're feeling right now in the seat, right? And it could even be the driver's seat that you're in. But you're feeling as though it is asking you to compromise and break principle. Sorry about that. Break principle and put yourself at risk. Decide what the opportunity is worth. Decide what the opportunity is worth. Is it worth you breaking the law? Is it worth you breaking your principles and your ethics? And is it worth you putting your life and limb at risk? You live in a space of abundance. More taxi are going to come on the stand. There's very likely a taxi man coming to the stand who is willing to honor the law. You can get in at the taxi early enough to get a better seat, a better angle, a better advantage. And if you don't get the taxi where you want, there's also the bus them, the yellow bus them are come on the stand too. And if worse come to worse, you have 2 strong foot you can walk, which means depending on your own strength and capacity to get you there. If the vehicles available are asking too much of you in terms of compromise. So meditate on that. May it be your good gas for this week and even into the year. But if you have a specific circumstance that's troubling you right now, I want you to imagine yourself going into the taxi, compromising yourself, your safety, your security, your comfort, breaking with things that you know you're supposed to honor, and ask yourself, is it worth it? Is this the only way I can get to halfway tree? Is this the only way I can get to my destination? Is my life so restricted? Are opportunities so scarce? Is it all so limited and unavailable that I would put myself at risk in this way to get to that destination? More often than not, the answer is no. things not so scarce, life not so bad, it not so hard, you're not so hungry, you're not so broke, that you have to compromise yourself, your values, your very sense of who you are and what you know to be the right thing in order to get there. And if you do, the weight of that compromise is going to carry you, is going to be on you or with you even after you've arrived at the destination. So choose wisely, beautiful one. Thank you so much for listening, and I really do hope that this conversation, this sharing of perspective is able to enhance your decision-making capacity in any way and your level of comfort if you've already made the decision and you felt a little shaky because the driver still a mumble and a grumble. The other passenger them a look around and say, you can't go on, eh? But you've made the decision, and maybe this is what you need to feel firmer, more confident, and more competent as you choose what is right and good for you. Remember, the good in me brings good to me. Same way, the good in you brings good to you. Blessings.